Hi, this is Kim Pinkney and welcome to my channel. Well, today I am doing a little bit more work on my Harley Quinn spray painting shirt. Uh, on the bus, I've been like working on it as much as I can, but this painting stuff is like really slow going when it comes to coloring on dark fabrics. So if you decide, and it looks cool once it's done, but it's like so time consuming to put the paint on, because it's like the paints are usually, a lot of the paints are for light colored fabrics, and this is a deep purple. It looks blue on the screen, but it's really a deep purple. um, I tried my best to try to get my uh, my camera to calibrate to my video, and it's just almost impossible. I'm like, okay, this is close enough. I had all kinds of hues and stuff going on. I'm like, oh, okay, I'm done. I'm so done. So right now, I'm just going ahead and adding a few more colors to things, and it kind of sucks trying to work on the bus, you know, because it's like I can only work on really big areas, you know, things that don't require a lot of detail. If I go for something like really super close to something, it's like it's, you know, you get jostled and stuff like that, and sure, I can paint over it, but it's like, oh god, what a hassle. Okay, so right here is, I'm adding some red paint. The only paints that I'm carrying with me are the white paint, because I really want to try to get through this thing. And I think I'll be done this weekend, because the longest, most time-consuming thing is putting on this base coat. It's like it's like you're double painting. And I also will be using my heat gun to kind of speed up the process in some places. So wish there was a heat gun that didn't require electricity, that I could just plug, you know, put some batteries in it and let it just do its thing. But alas, it has not been invented, or if it does, I have no access to it. So anyway, doing some detail in the mouth real quick, and then I'll jump back onto the face, because it kind of looks disturbing with one white eye and the other one's like there's nothing in there and stuff like that. So let me go ahead and add a little pink to her tongue here. But you see, like, once I have the base on there, the paint has some place to sit on. But just getting to that process is just like, ah. Okay, so anyway, let me see. I'm going to pull up my source image real quick to see what side of Harley Quinn is pink and what side is blue. I think this is the blue side and this is the pink side. I've got pink in my hand right now. Where did I put it? Okay, it's in my drive. Now, I'm sorry if my music is much louder than my voice. I'll turn it down just a smidge. And I apologize for missing you guys yesterday. I tried to rush out the house before the sky opened up, and I was thinking, okay, it's not raining now. Let me hop on my bike, run to a stop, and, you know, avoid all this crap. As soon as I put ass to seat, the sky opened up. It was insane. I'm like, okay, well, there goes that plan. Well, let me see if I can go to a shelter, a bus shelter. I'm like, crap, there aren't any. There's none that are nearby. Yeah, okay, I was right. So this is going to be the pink side, and this is going to be the blue side. Well, long story short, I ended up having to take my regular bus instead of the early bus, and was drenched by the time I got to it. So, yay me! Could have been home drawing. But it's unpredictable how long it would have lasted. Um, you know, because it's like, oh gosh, it says that all the rain would go through before noon, or by noon it would all like run through Tampa, and yeah, it did. And it started at 5 o'clock in the morning when I decided to head out. Okay, I put a little bit too much on this, so I'm going to throw a little bit more on the tongue. And I can't think of anything else that she has that is pink. Let's see. Even the hair tie that she had was pink on that side, so I'll put a little bit of pink right there. Let's see. And she had a little bit of pink on the side of her face, so let me see if I can throw that on here. Just a hint of it. And then this, let's see, yeah, that's kind of cute. It is kind of like her eyeshadow was, what's the word, smeared. And I'll probably put a second coat a little bit later. I'll make this heart black. Okay, let me close this back up, and then I'll just see if I can get this to, let's see, come down a little bit. So it's kind of like I'm going to have her have pigtails on either side. I'm going to have this part be blonde right above here. I'm just trying to smooth this out a bit. Smooth it out. One of the things I like about using paints, these kind of paints on the bus, is that they're not watery. They don't, like, you know, spill out and stuff like that. So it's like, it works for me. It stays in place. It's thick. And it's easy to transport. I'm so bad about the transporting part, is that my backpack has gotten like wicked heavy. Okay, so while that's doing its thing, I'm gonna go ahead and finish up some of the finer details that I just can't get to when I'm jostled about. And then once I apply some heat to this so that it'll dry a little bit faster so I can take it with me, I'll show you what it looks like so far. Let's see, I've got... Yeah, it's really fun to paint, especially when you're done with it and you can wear it. I've been painting on the bus all week, and I've gotten to give out like a whole bunch of business cards, because people are like, "Ooh, I want something like this," and "Ooh, I want something like that." Um, so hopefully, we'll see. I'm not worried about the eyelashes right now. Now the paint that I'm using here is called Folk Art Wicker White by Plaid. It's a fabric paint. It has to be heat set, um, which isn't really any big deal. Um, and I think that's where I went wrong with a lot of my shirts. Like there's this one that I had done of, let's see, when I was using these paints, I didn't notice that it had to be heat set. And one of them I wore, like within days of making it. And what I should have done was toss it in a dryer, but instead I was wearing it, and some of the paint I tried to reuse. Like I tried to put it in a container, um, but not even a container. I think I tried to wrap it with plastic wrap, but that didn't stop its process. So it's like, I have to be very careful on how much I use, and it was a large space, lots of color. I'm going to have the same problem again when I do my um, Naruto jacket. I'm going to be doing like the nine-tail fox, really super huge, lot of space. Going to take up like 90%, I want to say, of the jacket, and it's going to eat up all my orange. I can see it now. Um, a lot of my orange colors and stuff like that. Now, one of the things I do is, when I got to put the base color on, but um, I also have to, what I want to do is see if I can add some of the other colors as well before I put other colors on. Like, I've got the eyebrow here, that I need to color, but if I color it in, or leave it white like this, or I'm sorry, leave it like shirt color, it's purple right now. If I try to paint it in, I might have too much overlapping, and I may as well just color the whole thing anyway. My brushes aren't that fine. They're fine, but they're not that fine to where I can really get in there. Like right here, I'm having a hard time with this eye. I want to do the eyeball and try to make it as uniform as possible. But the thing about it is I'm going to be going back over it with black black marker or whatnot to try to get the lines back. It's just can't do it on the bus. I may as well just like color in the whole face white and then just paint over it when I'm ready, and that would be faster too. Just like block in the color, the base color, and just draw over the white. But I put so much detail into it, and it's like, I had done something like that, like I had drawn the picture, and then I ended up trying to go back where I was, and I couldn't. So my picture ended up being different from what I originally intended. Like that happened on a mermaid bag that I was doing. It happened on a few items that I had worked on. So now I'm at the point where I just get as close as I can to the lines that I've created, and then that way at least I know what I initially worked on, you know, what my original idea was. Um, yeah, because with sometimes I just go with the flow when things change, and that's not a bad thing. Sorry if I seem like I ramble a bit. Um, it's it's a challenge to paint and speak at the same time. Paint with precision. One eye's a little bit bigger than the other. I'll even it out once I get to the final outlining. But this is why I try to make my lines bold. There we go. Now I'm going to dip into this pink a little bit. Maybe make a little bit of a transition. I am half tempted to see what genre of music this is falling under, because this is supposedly the latest songs that were released on Epidemic Sound. It's called The Wrong Side of the Mountain. Folk, that's what I thought. It's folk music. Okay, and then it jumps into more folk music. Let's see, this is alternative hip hop. Let's hear what alternative hip hop sounds like. This is from Dylan's Sits. I think my camera is stuck. Let me stop streaming for a second and I'll jump back in. Yeah, I think I'm having like problems with my camera. I keep saying that it's disconnecting here and there. I just unplugged it, plugged it back in. It looks like it's kind of working. Okay, I don't think my camera's working. I might have to restart my computer. Let me see what's going on. Yeah, I've already started coloring the hat, and for some reason... Let me see. Alright, there we are. I'm sorry for the interruption. My system needed to restart, so I had to like do a hard restart of the program. Oh, OBS, you just make my life just so much more interesting. Let's see. So anyway, So while this is going to be drying, probably, I'm thinking, yeah, I think I'll take my paints with me. I'll take these littler paints with me. That way I can, but then again, it's like it makes it makes my bag so damn heavy. And I'll clean it out, and it's like, okay, I need this, I need this. I definitely need this. You know, and it kind of makes me frustrated that I only have so much room on my back to carry my art supplies. And I'm taken to trying to catch the bus that takes a long time to get home, or to the bus terminal, just so that I'd have more time to paint. Because it's like if I take the faster bus home, I have to ride for 20 to 30 minutes to get to that particular stop. And now that school's back in session, I have to compete with women who don't care if I'm in a crosswalk or not. They just will try to beat me to the crosswalk, to the end of the, you know, it's kind of frustrating. So the guys are kind of cool. They'll kind of wait, except for one. He was a jerk. He almost hit me. But it's like there's a lot of people who don't respect a crosswalk whatsoever. It's like, okay, you're in a car, I'm on foot, and to emphasize it, I'll like get off my bike and walk it across the street, because I tried riding it through the crosswalk and people don't respect that. It's like, oh, well, you're on a bike, you had your chance. I'm like, dog. So there'll be times I'll get off the bike, especially if I see a lot of cars waiting to turn. It's like, you know, I'll let them go, but it's like, you know, I'm supposed to have the right of way. At least here in Florida, they don't, but it's like they don't care. And there's this guy that, like, I ride mostly on the sidewalk, but, you know, you gotta cross the street sometime. There's a guy that I come across in the afternoons if I'm riding to the quicker bus, and he's wearing a GoPro on his hat, and it's like, you're on the sidewalk, dude. But then again, I started looking at him going, you know what, that GoPro is a good idea. That might make people behave. Might. I don't know. You know, and one of the things I was thinking about is if I ever got hit by a car, not that I'm trying to bring that into the universe or anything like that, but if I ever was like laid, you know, became roadkill, it's like the crap they would find in my bag. That would be, I don't know if it would be embarrassing, you know, or if it'd be like tragic. You know, like on a random day, I could be like shopping for groceries, and I'll have like all kinds of crazy food in my bag, and then art supplies, and it's like, oh, you know, this poor lady, she was hit by a car, and you know, we got to find her ID and stuff like that, and we found all this art. I found paints. You know, see paints all over the ground. Eggs. And on those random days when I can buy booze or feel like buying wine coolers or something like that, it's like, oh, look at all these damn wine coolers, what a lush. You know, it's like if you're ever judged on the last thing that you're carrying or something like that. You know, oh, look at all the anime magazines. You know, okay, see the artwork, oh, so she must have been an artist, you know, that sort of thing. Or but I was just wondering what, you know, what people would think if they saw, like, what was in my bag. And then, so it's like, okay, I see clothes is the weather's been really freaking strange. It'll go from like 40 degrees to 70 degrees, and then as soon as the sun goes down, it drops down to 40 again. It's like, what the hell? Thought I was in thought I was in Florida. Had to do a state check. Yeah. So yesterday was like that. I had a bag with 3 pairs of pants. Let's see, I wore in. It wasn't that hot. It was hot yesterday. So, but it was hot and raining. So I'm wearing, like regular clothes and stuff, and my rain poncho. But my bag has 3 pairs of sweatpants, a whole nother jacket, and let's see, I had underwear in my bag, because it's like if you get wet, you got to change your clothes. And so I have like almost a full wardrobe on me in a bag. And then and I'm like, man, I'm going to look strange if anybody ever goes into my bag and, to find my ID. It's like, what is all this crap? Why is she carrying all this? Why is she carrying her life? Oh, man. It's like, what's in your wallet? You don't want to know what's in my wallet. Oh, man. I screwed up on this part right here. It was a little off-center. So I have to bring this in and over. Her finger's okay where it is, but yeah. I'll fix that when I go to put the lines on. But yeah, if I paint in a silhouette, like say I just paint everything in and then just redo the lines, it won't look the same as what I originally intended. So I don't do that anymore. I'll try to make my lines really bold so that I can try to stay within them. But, and then I'll just redraw them as I need to. But I gotta get this base on, and, I fall in love with the original sketch in my original lines. I'm like, I want this line right here, and damn it, I'm gonna have it. I will have my line and draw it too, or paint it too. Yeah, this is the most progress I've made on this particular face. I'm pretty happy about that. It's like, this is what happens when you're not painting on the bus. And then waiting until it stops in order to throw some detail down. Okay, so I'll let this part sink in. Yeah, usually I have my embroidery hoop with me, and I have that stretched across, but this is so much faster putting it over my box, and I'm able to slide this over a little bit easier, things like that. Let's see. Okay, I want to put some words like right here. but I'm trying to decide what I want to put on there. Do I want to put like life is a joke? Do I want to put, I want to try to come up with a phrase that maybe Harley might say. I could just do Harley across here. Be kind of cool to have like, I think, see, I just had an idea for a whole nother shirt. You know, like they have Harley Davidson, and then Harley is pretty much spelled the same way. I could have her like looking like a biker. You know, if you want to ride a Harley or something like that. You know, if you want a really smooth ride a Harley type of thing, or you want a nice ride. And then have her like wearing that as like a biker jacket. You know, right at, you know, riding a Harley a whole new meaning. That would be kind of cool. Or even her just standing up and then having like, maybe Harley Davidson has like an eagle, I think, as a logo. And then maybe make the logo into kind of like Harley colors. That would be kind of cool. I like those plays on words and names and phrases and stuff. Maybe turn the Sons of Anarchy into something Harley related. And maybe make it a shirt that's a biker club type of thing. Like she had her own comic book, Ride with Harleys. You know, something that comes, some sort of phrase maybe that would be pretty funny. And she'd have her own like little biker club. And I could try to find some of the characters that were in the comic book, part of her crew. Maybe do a Joker type of, or Jester type of female. Oh, Harley Quinn romance. That'd be kind of cool too. Okay. Oh, Dexter, what up? Oh, I don't want to go to New York City. That's all right. I remember riding through on a something to remember me by. Dexter, you're on fire, man. You are on fire. You are so on fire. Holy crap. That shit's funny. But yeah, I rode through New York one day on one night on a Greyhound, going from Maine to San Diego, or coming back from San Diego, and looking at, that's back when I was in my nerve days. Coming back, we had to pass through New York, and I thought I was on a movie set. Everything was so goddamn close. I'm like, how can people live like this? And for once, I think in its lifetime, it did not have people all over the damn street at all hours. There wasn't anybody out. It was like, we must be on a movie set. How in the hell did they get to a movie set? Because this is so surreal. Every time you see New York, there's always someone. Always. There's always someone outside. It's like, they said this, was it like the city that never sleeps, or do they call it the Big Apple? I can't remember. A little bit of both. The apple that never sleeps. I don't know. Big apple that never sleeps. Yeah, there was always someone out. There was always a car or something moving. Somebody was in action. But it was like so surreal. I was like, oh wow. Oh no, no New York for me. I good. And I felt so I never felt claustrophobic before until I had ridden on those narrow streets. I was like, oh my god. And I know the street it couldn't have been that narrow. I don't know, it was just very claustrophobic feeling. Like if there was a fire, it would just like rip through everything here. Everything just looked way too freaking close. So, nah, no New Yorker for me. I like my stuff kind of spread out. I should switch brushes. This poor brush is like, look, I'm tiny. What are you doing, woman? Yeah, you are tiny. Let's see if we can find a bigger. This might be a little too big, but it'll cover a lot of space really fast. Alright, let's see. I thought I had a bigger brush nearby. La 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 la. I don't want to use that one. Let's see. Okay, so right here I was going to put like, what is that called? That respirator. But I think I'll just paint this in like completely white, and then I'll just draw it in a bit. Yeah, let's do that. Let's see, one with a bigger. So we're gonna throw a gob of paint on. This is a little bigger, not by much. I want a bigger. Where's my other? I think that'd be decent. Really? Well, you know, it's their first in a long time. You know, like you said, you're just getting back into the saddle. So you gotta, you know, maybe draw a couple of cowboys first, or maybe draw a cowgirl. You know, draw something that you like. Let's color this all white. I was thinking she'll have I had an idea for an outfit that she was going to be wearing, but you wouldn't see much of it. Oh yeah, that's right. I was going to have her wear that Daddy's Little Monster shirt, but I think I want to do something a little different, since maybe something a little bit more hip-hop themed. Oh yes. Oh, you know what would be cool is like this one picture that I've always wanted to draw, and I think I started drawing it, but I never finished it. It was like Jessica Alba when she was in that one movie, Sin City. Her as the dancing stripper or dancer. That outfit that she wore, and she had like the little cowgirl, you know, she was wearing the chaps and stuff like that. That would be a cool picture. I guess that might be my next one. I've always wanted to draw that. Use all my white here to cover up this area. Spread this all around. You never saw the movie? Oh, I think she was at her sexiest in that movie. Hell, you don't even have to look at the movie. Just watch her in the scenes, or look her up in Sin City. It was definitely a different type of movie. It was like watching a comic book, kind of like 300. It had visual appeal and things like that, you know, of a comic book. Mostly black. I think it was mostly like black, white, and red were the predominant theme colors. And then other colors for like moods, but I think his name was Frank Miller that had come up with it or something like that. But it wasn't bad. It was definitely an interesting ride. I never saw the second one. Yeah, I wasn't a fan of what is that one, the Watchmen. I just couldn't get into it, and I ended up cheating to find out what happens in the end, because the only thing I remember is some guy was doing a investigation. Can't quite remember what the investigation was about. I was just that bored. I think I even fell asleep on the movie, and that's watching it at home. You know a movie's bad when you fall asleep on it. I mean, it's just like, wow, this is that boring. I don't know. But, yeah, Sin City wasn't too bad. It didn't feel like it was just one cohesive story either. Let's see. Okay, so what I'm going to do is let this dry. Let's see. Or actually, I'll just go ahead and speed it up. There it is. Okay. Alright, I apologize in advance for the noise. What? What? Dexter, you haven't lived! Oh, bro, you haven't lived. You gotta see some movies. Have you at least seen 300? These are like movies that look like comic books, like you're watching a comic book. Okay, hold up. I'm gonna hit this up. Bring this down. Yeah, if you, I was going to bring it down so it wasn't right near the, I was going to bring this down so it wasn't right near the, microphone. But it's like, nah, it's almost there. Sorry about that. Usually this thing shouldn't go on longer than 10 minutes, the hot air gun, or else it'll like burn itself out. Okay, so as I was saying, 300 was fun. That was a fun watch. It's like, wow. And, you know, I kind of expected, like, a lot of movies to be like that. Especially, if I'm paying for it. God, dandruff. Okay, let me see if I can get any closer without taking more paint off. This is supposed to be a paint pen. When I bought it, it was, a bullet tip marker thing. But the thing about it is that when I bought it, it was dried out. I don't know. It's just Walmart supplies. Yeah, it's hit and miss. Okay. Anyway, let's see. Going back into my Arteza. Let's see. This is glow in the dark paint, so I'll throw that on there too. Why not? Got nothing better to do. There we go. So I'll use like a light blue. Yeah. I think I'll have her skin be kind of like a light bluish tinge. A little bit lighter than the blue on her hair. I'll be adding strands and whatnot after this all dries. Yeah, 300 was fun to watch. Yeah, I like my gladiator movies and things like that. Yeah, but it had a lot of what was the word? Stylistic photography. And I think I made the blue a little too high. Maybe I'll have her have a grayer skin tone. The point is to try to keep her looking pale. There we go. We'll make it like kind of like a two-tone type of thing. So it'll be like darker on the bottom and then, I don't know, or maybe just darker in some places. Let's see. Let's see. Don't need that blue anymore. It's not really. There we go. There's a darker blue. Just have them kind of mixed together a bit. Yep, I remember Amazing Stories. There was one episode that I just adored. I think it was called Mummy Daddy, where this guy is a movie actor. They were filming a horror movie, and he got a call that his wife was going into labor, so he's rushing, trying to get home to her, and his makeup, I guess, is like really super believable, so people think it's like a mummy is out there and they try to kill him. And then he finally, that was a fun one. Yeah, I liked how Amazing Stories was a lot more lighthearted than some of the what was it called? Twilight Zone. Yeah, Twilight Zone was pretty dark. It had its moments where it was just like, oh my god, what did I just watch? Let's see. If I mix... Mm, what's your favorite movie? Like if you know you want if it's like if you were on a desert island, you can just like watch it over and over again. Yeah, and anybody can respond too. I'd love to hear what your guys' favorite movie are, and I wouldn't mind doing like maybe like next month maybe make it a movie theme type of thing. It's like I like Jaws, so we make a Jaws shirt or something like that. Um, let's see. I guess she had blue eyes. I think so. Let's see. Yeah, or is it green? I don't know. Just color it blue and then let me see if I can use a smaller. Wipe this off. Huh. Let's see. Oh, in Amazing Stories, that the bomber guy and stuff like that. Um, yeah, my favorite movie was Saving Private Ryan. I can watch that movie over and over and over again, um, and still want to cry. You know, it's just like, damn, this movie's intense. And I can watch it over and over again and see something different. It was, I, I'm I don't know if I'm like so much into war movies, but I know I like that one. That one was good. I've watched a lot of them. Let's see. Now, what I want to do is do a little bit of a bluish tinge to her face. So I'm mixing that in with my my white, my Arteza stuff here, and I just want to give her cute. Love it. That's all right. It's easy to cover. Okay. I'm not gonna break my neck trying to fix it. Not yet. But yeah, outside of that, I'm trying to remember. I mean, there's some movies that I really, really like. Um, Star Wars used to be a really good one. I remember when I had like HBO, Showtime, Cinemax, that crap. And they would show Star Wars all the time. They would like show it so much that I knew the lines by heart. And I remember one lazy summer, I'm laying on the couch and my mom is, she's like watching it too, and she's kind of bored too. And Darth Vader comes in and he says, "The circuit is now complete. When I left you, I was but the learner. Now I am the master." And she did it. She did it in his voice. She did a perfect English accent or British sounding accent. You know how they got that evil accent type thing going on with a lot of the Star Wars movies. The circuit is now complete. She even lowered her voice and stuff like that. And as she said that, I was like, "Only a master of evil, Darth." And then they start fighting. But did we stop watching it? No. It was funny. Two black ladies making all that, doing the sound and stuff like that. I don't know. And I didn't think anything of it until, like, when I was older. I'm like, oh, shoot, my mom and I were cool. Or we were so bored and geeky, things like this happened. I forgot what happened at the end of that episode. Like, did the guy survive because his gun hatch was at the bottom? I remember something like that he could have died. Everybody else was getting shot around him and getting killed. I don't know. I might be getting that one confused with others that I've watched. Crap, it's almost time for me to go. Just when I was getting into this. Well, shucky ducky. Alright, so before I get like super rushed and manic and stuff like that, you guys, thank you so much for joining me on this little session. Yeah, I think I'll be able to finish this weekend. I was going to wash clothes, but I think I'm going to do my best to try to wash them tonight. Because if I try to put it off until Sunday, I'm going to be like, I could do this on Sunday. And then Sunday comes, and I'm like, I don't want to do squat. And I'll just wash it all by hand, but it's like I've got towels that I've got to take care of. No ifs, ands, or buts about it. So anyway, let me stop talking about my agenda. But you guys, thanks again for watching, and feel free to like and subscribe. Like this particular shirt that I'm working on, if you're growing fond of it, let me know. And by the time it's done, if you're still liking it and stuff like that, we'll see about doing a, what is it called? Figure out, how to get it to you or something like that if you want it. I don't know. I don't know what to do with it. Either that or I'm going to have to lose weight and wear it myself. And gosh darn it, I'd squeeze into it. I'd at least try to squeeze into it. This is a extra large, and I think it's a woman's shirt, so. But if you're not too proud, yeah, it's just a little small for me, but every shirt I see nowadays is like a canvas. It's like, oh yeah, I can do something with this. I saw this one guy wearing a plain orange shirt, and I'm like, yeah, he was playing a zip-up shirt, and I'm like, the things I could do to that jacket. Yeah. Oh, yeah, I know I'm a hot mess when I start looking at people's clothes like that. I'm like, ooh, I could do that to your jacket. Just let me have a day with it. Let me have a day alone with it. Terrible. I'm terrible. I'm a hot mess now. Okay. Let me see if I can fix these lips here before they... Oh, it dried up. Tessa, you're not supposed to be that good. Okay, Arteza dried up on me, so let me get another dollop of red. There we go. Alright, now I'll throw a little bit of red up in here. Try to maybe blend it in a little bit. We'll throw a little bit in here too. Oh, and before I sign off for the day, I'll show you how far I've gotten on the autobus. Okay. I've put my buddy's name, Montana, on this particular can here, but I'm probably going to go back over it with like some white and stuff like that to try to make it stand out. And then I'm going to put his 1440 like right here, so it'll be like Montana 1440. On here, I think I'll put in like some graffiti letters, Harley, going across here. Let me take the box out here. This was the start of Joker. I hadn't done too much more to this. I just pretty much filled in with more white. And as crappy as I paint, it still looks pretty good. Let's see. I'm going to probably end up covering up Poison Ivy on this side and do something else to that. So that'll end up putting a big white swash going across that, and maybe make a building or something like that. And then on this sleeve, I've got the Joker and his ha-ha-has. And I think I'll take a couple of these fabric paints with me, because they seem to do just fine on this fabric. So I'm going to try it out and see if they work. Plus they're small, and you know, I can take out some of the crap that's in my bag. So hopefully this weekend you'll join me and we'll see how this thing turns out. All right, you guys. Again, thanks for watching. And look, I got all this paint on me because I was walking around. Okay, so I'll talk to you guys later. And again, thanks so much for tuning in. Like and subscribe if you'd like to see more. Or if you have any ideas, just leave me a message in the comments. Have a great one, and I'll hopefully see you tomorrow. Bye-bye.